Hi, everyone. My name is Tanya St. Julian, and I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Today I'm here with my partners, Mark Harold, who's also a licensed professional counselor in North Carolina, as well as Kelly Harrison, who is a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed professional counselor associate at Hidden Stream Counseling. Today we are going to be talking with you guys about partner disconnection as well as ways to reconnect with your spouse. Over time in a relationship, disconnection can happen, and sometimes you become kind of estranged from your partner. So we've sat down and thought about this, and we want to give you guys some valuable information on how to reconnect with your partner. One of the first things we want to kind of talk about is partner disconnection. You may hear the word a lot, or you may have not heard the word at all, but partner disconnection is typically explained as no longer being connected with your partner either emotionally, physically, sexually, or mentally. My partner Mark is going to talk a little bit more about common questions that people have related to partner disconnection.
Hi, and thanks, Tanya. How would you know if your marriage is experiencing, your relationship is experiencing partner disconnection? Here are a couple of tips that you can look for. Are we no longer spending intimate time together? I mean, that could involve, that's not just sexually in the bedroom, that would be, do we go on dates together? Do we have any time alone, whether it's away from the kids or friends, that you're just building your relationship together? So just spending time alone with one another is so important and a sign that you might be disconnected. A lot of other times you may be home in the same house, but you just don't connect together. He's watching football, you're doing whatever you're doing, and there's just no time that you have the feeling that we just don't communicate. We're not spending enough time talking to each other. Another sign is I've had a number of my clients say to me, well, the marriage, the relationship is so strained right now that I don't feel like going home at night. A lot of times I stay late at work or I go to the gym and spend extra time. They're just not enjoying each other's company. That could be a disconnect. Do I dread doing things with my partner? The reason we're not spending any time together is we don't plan any time together. The old adage that says people don't fail to plan, they plan to fail, they fail to plan. If you're not spending time together, one of the reasons might be that you don't take time to even think about doing that together or plan it. Is there an underlying source of irritation with your partner? This is a big thing. A number of my clients I've spoken to, you talk to, you're trying to find out what the disconnect is, why this conflict, and you find out that underneath there's just a brewing sense of annoyance or irritation at the partner for something that was done, something that was not done, something that was said. Those things need to be resolved to have, avoid the disconnect. And am I just no longer attracted to my partner? Has something happened? Have we been married an awful long time? Have they done something? Have they changed their personality? Have they changed the way they look? Whatever. We're not getting input from one another or how we can be appealing to one another. Those would be a couple of things that you could look at and talk with your spouse or your significant other about of how we can reconnect and avoid being disconnected from one another. Kelly's going to fill you in on a little bit more.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kelly, and if you found yourself answering yes to any number of these questions, we want to let you know it's possible to break this pattern. There's hope for improved relationship. We believe in the ability to repair the partner disconnection and have identified 3 steps you can put into practice. The first is to determine the level of disconnection that is set into your relationship. Where do you feel most disconnected? Is it physically or emotionally, mentally or sexually? Then talk to your partner about where they feel disconnected. You may be a bit surprised, but you might have different views on where the disconnect is taking place. And this could prove to be a meaningful conversation that provides you with a great deal of insight into how they feel. You may even be surprised. Tanya is going to talk about the second step to repairing partner disconnection.
So, guys, it's important to recognize that after you identify kind of what the main disconnection between you and your partner, it's important to go a step further. So the second step in repairing partner disconnection is to identify which level of disconnection you guys want to target first. And that can be important because if you're disconnected physically, sexually, emotionally, you may not know which one to go to first. So try to intentionally spend time in kind of the main ones that both you and your partner have decided that you guys want to target. And for instance, if you guys may not know or may not have an idea of where to go and where to start, you guys can reach out for mental health by contacting a counselor in your area, or even just logging on to the internet and trying to find different skills and different tips. So, for example, if you guys are physically disconnected, it is important for you all to spend time engaging in activities together, just spending some quality time together. If you guys are disconnected mentally, it is important for you all to spend time in meaningful conversation. And that does not mean just coming home and saying, hey, honey, how was your day? That actually means kind of sitting back, hearing what your partner has to say. Practice reflective listening skills. That is extremely important in trying to break the pattern of partner disconnection.
And the last step, the third step with repairing partner disconnection, is to really utilize what you've learned. This is a big step, you know, in counseling. You know, it's not enough to have the information. It's not enough to know that you need to change something. The biggest step, and the one that gets probably the least consideration a lot of times, is people actually putting into play the different things that they've learned that they've agreed is going to be helpful. So that's important. Listening skills are effective at bridging the gap of communication or disconnection. You got to continue. The biggest word here is consistency, putting into practice, using the new things that we know are going to be helpful that we haven't been doing, or avoiding something that's been harmful that we have been doing. Make sure your life doesn't get in the way. I talk to a lot of my clients that, you know, we talk about it and they go, yeah, there's just not enough time. I said, well, we all have 168 hours in a week, and nothing's more important than your most intimate relationship. It's important to spend time on that. Set realistic expectations. Rome wasn't built in a day. Your relationship is not going to be repaired in a day. It takes time, and it takes practice, and it takes effort. Also recognize that trying the same solutions that have not worked in the past, they're probably not going to work now either. They're probably not good ones. Something is not working about them. Take the ones you've agreed upon in the counseling office or together at home with each other and saying, hey, your spouse has said this is what's going to be helpful to me, and you've said this is what's going to be helpful to me, and you work on those things. You stick to those things. After all, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So work on that, and Kelly's going to take us home and wrap it up for us here today.
If you're struggling to reconnect with your partner and find that what you're doing isn't working, maybe you could use a professional counselor to facilitate communication in your relationship. You could call us at Hidden Streams at 919-307-3805 or visit our website at hiddenstreamcounseling.com. Thanks so much for listening.